Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 273rd edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Frankenstein 2025. And I know it was 2025 because it was uploaded to Netflix on November 7th, 2025. It was directed by Jaden.
What? I don't know.
Come on, you got to take it away.
No, you can take it.
No, you can. No, I'm giving you. No, you're not going to do me a solid.
You need to learn, Zach.
But you got to teach me.
I've taught you multiple times.
Yeah, actually. Guillermo. I think the thing is I can't think about it. I think I've just got to go. It was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Fuck, I fucked it. It's a dark fantasy film. IMDb insists on horror and body horror. How do we feel about that?
I mean, it is like the original horror.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like one of the first horror. Like it was like the original. It's like the origin of sci-fi, but I think it's like the origin of horror as well.
Yeah, like I get that in terms of like, you know, it's about a monster and it's about a, you know, a horrific creation or whatever. But like, I don't think there's anything about it that resembles the horror genre as we know it.
It came about when fucking Mary and Percy and Byron and all that were sitting around and they had a competition to write a scary story.
Ghost story. Yeah.
Yeah. But is it scary?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
Sorry. It's a gothic and science fiction story. So,
did you use the word horror in that when you just said that right there?
Gothic is horror.
No, because gothic can be romance.
Yeah, but it's gothic horror. Like it's
Gothic is like a vibe. It's not a genre.
Well, it is a genre.
I'll take the L. It's all right. The synopsis says, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant but egotistical scientist, brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. Wow.
Hold on, I just realized we studied this. We both studied this, and you're still arguing against it being horror, as if like we didn't go over that how many times in year 12.
You're spitting facts, but let me just say this. Did you watch this movie and think it belonged as a horror movie?
Yes.
Would you count this? You would count this on your, I watched this on my list of horror movies this year.
Yeah. Same way I'd count the 1931 as it. It's not scary. It just doesn't change the fact that it is horror.
Okay. All right. Maybe I just need to reconceptualize my understanding of the genre. You know what I mean? Might be on me. I think it clearly is on me, but that's fine. Jaden, what did you think of Frankenstein?
I thought it was pretty great. I think Del Toro has such a beautiful eye for image and for creatures. I mean, this is like the perfect thing for him to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he's long time said that he's a lover of monsters or a lover of creatures and shit like that. And like this is like the perfect story, like, you know, for that. I like what he put in, and I like what he left out. Because I was a bit like lost at first because I was like trying to piece together some things that weren't there because he just left them out. But it all functioned. I think it was all great. I think it captures everything from the novel pretty accurately. I think it like shifts like the focus it shifts what like the key kind of ideas are, but like they're still present. And like it's done to the, you know, top of the marks. It's done to the nines.
Done to the nines. Is that a spoiler?
Is
it to your final verdict?
Oh, I was just like, is that even an expression? I feel like I've done to.
I don't know. It sounds vaguely familiar. I don't know if you used it
to
correctly.
the nines, like, you know, to perfection, to the highest degree.
What's the origin of that though? Like what?
You're like I know like you're dressed to the nines, but like
yeah, I don't know. I don't really get it. while you do that, I'll just say that I liked it. I was thinking basically exactly along the same lines as you, where I think it's very much in line with Del Toro's other works, and you can see him in this film. And I think it is like the perfect source material and director matchup, because this entire movie, with its themes and how he portrays the creature and so on, it's true to the book and the filmmaker almost equally. So it was perfect in that regard. A great combo for sure. And I don't know. I guess with Mr. Del Toro's other works, for me, like, I love his vision and really appreciate the things about his movies that feel very recognizable to him, which this film has a bunch of. Even though the films are never my favorite, you know what I mean. I don't consider him one of my favorite directors, and that didn't change that. But I still like the movie a lot, you know. Fitzy, what about you?
Well, I managed to read the book this week. I finished it
Jesus
yesterday.
Christ! Did you start this week?
Yeah, I started Tuesday.
Wow.
Zach couldn't do that in 6 years.
Did you do that to spite me? Let's be honest, just for a second.
No, I mean, maybe like a little bit, but I didn't want to have a book that because I don't know, it just felt the right time, because it was like a glaring kind of hole in my reading or whatever.
Okay, yeah,
that was the main reason. Yeah, but also to spite you. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think the film was just flat for me. I don't know. I didn't really like the changes. But even so, I just felt like, yeah, like none of the emotions or anything kind of rang true, and the visuals, like, they felt kind of, they were like good, but kind of they felt stilted to me. I don't know why. They just didn't have like life to them. So yeah, I don't know.
damn. So did you? So you obviously read the book first and then watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just finished it like an hour ago, less than an hour ago.
So
Yeah. Okay. What was that? What was that experience like? So did you really like the book?
Oh yeah, I love the book. The book's great. Yeah, the book's
Okay.
intense. The book's amazing. But like, yeah, I don't know if it's the changes or the movie itself. It's just, yeah, this just felt completely dead to me. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Damn. I don't know. Is there a particularly glaring aspect right away? You mentioned a couple, but like, if you could delve into one that's like really like the translation of that, or my imagination of that just did not translate.
I mean, the main change the biggest change to me is like making the initial deaths of like William and Elizabeth, making that kind of accidental on Frankenstein's part, whereas like in the book it's like kind of he's driven by pure vengeance, and then he only like regrets. He's only in kind of turmoil at the very end when Victor dies. Sorry, I meant Frank. Did I say Frank? I meant the creature. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that.
Yeah.
But
idiot.
We'll all do that. Or Jaden won't.
Yeah, like that was a big change. I didn't really like. 'Cause, I mean, like, I get making the creature sympathetic, but I think like the story with the farmers in the book, it's like with Felix and the old guy and stuff. But here it's just like kind of the old guy. That's where you kind of draw sympathy from him. There's no need to do it like to a further kind of degree, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. But like, I don't know, the whole first part of this film, just like Victor's tale or whatever, that didn't grab me either. That was probably the part where I was least engaged with Victor's stuff.
My recollection of that part is that this is so great that you read the book this week, by the way. God damn, I thought we were going to be relying on like mainly Jaden from like 6 years ago. But so my recollection of that part is that it was pretty similar, except like the fucking Christoph Waltz's character is new,
Mm.
and like, doesn't he have like a mate or something, like a best mate character?
Yeah, I was disappointed his mate
Yeah.
wasn't there at first.
Yeah, okay.
Henry Clerval is his name.
Mm.
And he kind of makes the monster like by himself in like Ingolstadt or something, like some town by himself.
Yeah.
And like Elizabeth is totally different as well. Like Elizabeth is like an adopted sister.
And like it's exclusively like used as Victor's like romance rather than William's.
Yeah.
Because William's like a kid.
William's a kid. Yeah, William's 5. Yeah, he does. So there are quite a few changes, but I don't know. Did you like enjoy? I just didn't enjoy Victor's like story. Yeah, it was just kind of whatever.
I didn't mind.
I mean, that's because you just experienced it, fucking, in the week. I was
like the good parts are translated. I just felt like I don't know.
Really, I was pretty gripped by him. Like from the get go. Like when he's like that first delivery of like his project. Like when he actually animates the corpse, like right then and there. Like that was exciting shit because he doesn't do that in the book for sure. Like where he like has like a glimpse.
No.
So like that was like
I like that.
That was like kind of electrifying to me.
Electrifying.
Huh.
Oh, that was it.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, like I was like kind of Oscar, and like I think he was a very good Victor. So like whenever he kind of like as he kind of fell into this kind of like he never falls as far as book Victor, which I think is a bit of a mistake. But I think that just comes from the shift from like the kind of shift in focus that comes from Del Toro. Like I think book Victor like falls completely into like madness and then sickness, and we get to really like sit with it. Whereas like this is kind of like a watered down version, but like that's kind of where you have like, but that's where you have, that's why you have two like very substantial like authors meeting, and like this is just Del Toro, like this is just when his writing is starting to come through more than Shelley's.
But sure. Why did he have to water it down? What was?
Well, it wasn't about watering it down as much as that. Like watering it down came as a byproduct of the shift in focus for his story about kind of more familial kind of lines and things like that, rather than kind of this whole. But like he neglects the science angle and the kind of man versus nature thing, because he was more interested in telling like the familial story. So I think like Victor's status is just lost as like that kind of thing is just lost as a byproduct of that. Not intentionally because he wants to make it tamer, but yeah.
I don't remember the ending of the book exactly, but like the ending of this book, this movie struck me as having a different angle in terms of it being more about like almost like their relationship and like that sort of reconciliation between the two of them. I don't really remember the book doing something like that, but I could be wrong.
Well, the like Frankenstein dies before they don't have like a chat at the end, but then the creature comes up and he's like, even though he's like been like tormenting him or whatever, he like now totally like regrets that he dies, that he's dead, and then he like he has a conversation with like the the captain.
Oh yeah.
And then the creature goes and kills himself. After that.
Oh, he walks off into the ice, doesn't he?
Huge.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think he goes and he's gonna like burn himself or something. I think that's the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's obviously a complete not what Del Toro is going for with the tone of his ending.
Oh no! That was. Because at the end, like the creature in this is kind of like overcome by like his lost hope or whatever. But in the book, he's like totally like destroyed, pretty much, by his like hatred.
Yeah.
The book is also framed through Robert's letters, though, right? So like, doesn't it like it ends differently because of that, right? As well, isn't it?
Well, the creature doesn't like move the ship. or anything, but like you do end with like that kind of
It
last
ends in the same place.
monologue from the creature. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, while we brought it up, how do we feel about that shift in the tone of the ending and it's sort of being more about the forgiveness and reconciliation aspect? I felt Del Toro all over that shit in terms of like the human and the monster, like finding a way to connect, sort of ending, or
Which
coming
one do you
towards
see
some
as the
sort of
human in that interaction?
interesting question. In terms of them like finding some sort of common ground, you know, and then obviously the creature then helping with the ice, which Fitzy just pointed out isn't in the book. In terms of freeing the ship, I mean. So that's like a nice moment. I really like the ending personally. I think it's cool. You know, like it's obviously very different, and I don't dislike the more hopeless book ending. But I feel like, to what you were saying earlier, Jane, I feel like this feels like Del Toro. This feels like him putting how he sees the story, you know, his stamp on it in that respect.
Yeah. Like I don't think I think I do prefer the book's ending from what I recall, but like I think that this functions with Del Toro's story that he chooses to kind of emphasize, especially like when it's like kind of the cycle of like, you know, Victor's father was abusive to him, and then Victor abusive to you know, the creature, and it's kind of like the breaking of the cycle without, you know, actually showing, you know, the next step, but like it's the breaking the cycle here that, you know, creature chooses to choose love.
Yeah, and there's a self-awareness that Victor, you know, demonstrates as well. Does Victor ever have some, you know, level of regret in the book, Fitzy, like he does here?
Well, like for creating the creature, or for what?
No, for how he treated the creature. Well, I guess for both, but
no, not really. Well, he doesn't really do the same thing in the book. He doesn't, like, you know, like hit him and stuff.
Okay.
So like
he just abandons him straight away.
Yeah, he like totally freaks out and then leaves him. And then he doesn't. The big thing is like he doesn't create the wife for him, which like the creature hates because he's like living in, you know, solitude and all the humans hate him and stuff. So he regrets, you know, creating him, but and he kind of regrets it to the end. Even when he like gets past his kind of anger, he still like rationally like wants the captain to kill him, the creature. But yeah, there's none of that kind of bullying stuff or anything. And the father as well isn't like abusive; he's like nice in the book, so you don't have that reflected through Victor onto the creature either.
Yeah, it's funny. There is like a paternal aspect to it that feels new, I guess.
Yeah, well, they don't say like son or anything, but there is like a sense of it there in the book, because like once Victor's dead, like the creature has like nothing to live for, I guess. So it's less like acknowledged, but it's still kind of there.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it's a bit inherent. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just like hopeful endings. I mean, who doesn't? But I guess, like, I mean, I like sad endings too, obviously. But I don't know. I just like this one. I like the Lord Byron quote at the end. And the creatures, you know, there's a bit of hope there in that final shot, which I like. I just thought it was nice. I assume you might. You're probably not as into it, Fitzy.
I mean, I don't mind the ship moving and the kind of final thing. I mean, I definitely prefer the book ending just with like the rest of the story, but I think this ending makes sense with, you know, what Del Toro was doing. The hope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I just want to point out also that Jaden made me try and say his first name at the start of the show, and then no one has attempted it since. It's not even like.
Well, when you're writing an essay, Zach, you don't refer to the author by their first name. It's informal. They're not your friend.
What do you mean he's a friend of the show?
We're just signing properly.
Yeah.
Proper citation.
All right, guys.
In text.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fair. So does the ship captain, does he decide to turn around also at the end of the book?
I think he's kind of won over by the rest of the ship, who kind of almost like mutinies him.
Yeah.
Because he's so. I mean, the whole point of Frankenstein is that like the whole point of the book is that it's against like the monomaniacal kind of search for knowledge, So like the captain is initially he's trying to go to the North Pole because he wants to discover the secrets of like magnetism. So like Frankenstein's whole thing that he's telling him is like telling him, don't be like obsessed with knowledge and try not like penetrate the secrets of nature or whatever. And so like at the end, when the captain kind of hears everyone's story and he hears the creature and everything, he realizes, oh, this is like, it's not worth it or whatever, the pursuit of science. So that's the kind of final like decision that he makes. Going back.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there is that like scene in the film too, briefly, where like one of the quick interstitials where you go back to the boat, to the ship, and Oscar Isaac's in there giving his story, and then like I think the captain tells him where he's going, and then he's still like, and Oscar Isaac's like, "What, you're still doing that? Like after what I'm telling you?" Or he says something like that. I can't remember.
I think that happens in the book as well, doesn't it? Where like, isn't there something about that? Where Victor like is.
He says like he tries to tell him that he should take something from his story, but it's weird because like Victor also like eggs them on, like he eggs like the whole crew on because he like in the book he's like this really like charming, persuasive kind of figure. So like he's throughout the whole thing kind of lost in the source of his own obsession, but he's still trying to like relate a moral at the end.
Yeah.
It's like he can't help himself.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So you cited the start specifically. We can get into the creatures part separately, I guess. But so you weren't. I'll take this as a bit of a sign that you didn't love Oscar Isaac's portrayal of Victor. He didn't reach through the screen and grab you.
No, not really. I mean, he was like, technically he was fine, I guess, but just not it. Not, yeah, I don't know. It just felt too, like, everything just felt too put on, I guess. I just think there could have been someone better who could, like, portray that kind of obsession,
Del Toro did think so. He said he was, like, Oscar Isaac was the only person that he wanted for the role.
Oh. Well,
I did say that.
He was wrong.
But the thing is, I think you see that quite well in that first scene where he's presenting his work. Like you see this kind of fervor and kind of passion. Like he's spitting and shit, He's shaking. It's like it's just full of passion. And like that's why I thought we're getting a bit more of a book accurate Victor at first. But then like I'll agree with you like as well. Like it definitely changes away.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels a bit like hollow in the end. Or a bit
he almost doesn't feel like Victor by the end of his own story, to be honest, yeah.
I don't disagree. Like I think Oscar's very good in the movie, but I don't feel the obsession throughout enough. I feel like there was something missing in terms of like really grounding me in his motivation consistently. Like I understand you have the whole segment with him as a child to understand his interest in science, understand his motivation to conquer death because of, his experience with his mother dying. And like, I get it. But sometimes I felt like I kind of just lost touch with him a little bit, especially later on.
I think the act becomes less, it seems less like involved because like it kind of definitely is, in the book he's a grave robber and like, it's kind of like he's shown to be like the kind of like, bathed in sin in his work is shown to be, an affront to God.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like backed by finance and it's presented as like science, so it kind of feels a lot cleaner. So as such, like Victor doesn't like it doesn't feel like as much of an obsession because he's not having to like go to depths because people around him are approving of his project.
Right.
Yeah.
And the book is like completely like antisocial, and he creates the creature by himself. So.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like his project. With you saying it's like backed. Yeah, it feels like an ambitious project, and the film does. I'm not saying the film totally ignores the fact that it like defiles nature or like the whole like bringing resuscitating life and all that. It doesn't ignore that, but just in terms of like Victor's motivations and in his side of it, it doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. It doesn't really feel like he's doing enough wrong, I guess. Yeah. It just feels like he's like on the cusp, the cutting edge of the day of science and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
which he is. But
that's like that. I think that like that's the main thing I did take away. Though, like to me, the book was always most about man versus nature, man versus God, and defying that. Whereas that takes a backseat in this. To kind of family.
Jaden, you set me up for my trivia here. Director Mr. Del Toro considers the major theme of the Frankenstein story to be failed parenthood rather than the mishandling of science. He said, "For me, it's not a cautionary tale. It's about the human spirit. It's about forgiveness, understanding, and the importance of listening to each other. It's a European tale told from a Latin American view." So, from his point of view, I feel like I get that. That adds a bit of context, I guess, to what we're saying and why some of these changes and choices were made, I think.
I mean, I think that reading is like fair because like one of the things like the introduction says is like if the people on the farm like Felix and the old man like listened, use the word listen there. If they just like listened to the creature or like accepted him, not based on like appearance, then the rest of the events wouldn't have taken place. And obviously there's like the family thing. But like just because that isn't focused on as much in the first part of the book or with Victor's story, it doesn't feel as integral of the theme.
Yeah.
As it is in this.
I think the other part of it, like, I mean, I'm not going to claim this as my own, it's fucking from my English teacher. But like, it's kind of about it is coming from Mary, a woman in a man's field, like back in the day, and then still today. It definitely as much true, but like back then especially, she had to publish under a pseudonym. But it's about kind of man's conquest of science, but then also in the context of the story, it's about removing women and like from like the kind of process of like birth. It's like it's like that kind of angle of like
right.
It's like from like the feminist angle as well of like, well, we can't do this because you can't remove women because then X and Y happens. Whereas like that was kind of lacking from this one as well.
Yeah.
And like, so like there was like, kind of lost where I'm going, but like,
I guess through Elizabeth you could say that there, like in the movie. Elizabeth
yeah. Well, it's interesting that she's like immediately. I was gonna say maternal, but maternal's the wrong thing because it's like almost romantic. It is romantic, but like it's interesting how quickly she takes to the monster creature.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to bring that up. Like, was there anything in the book like this felt very Del Toro in terms of like this weird love that exists between the creature and Elizabeth feels very Shape of Water. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought Shape of Water was drawing from Frankenstein because I'd never like read it or seen it before.
Right.
But not really. Like there's nothing like that in the book because the creature just kills Elizabeth on their like wedding night.
And they've never met before, right? Like he literally just goes there and kills.
That's the first interaction. He's just doing it to taunt Victor.
Yeah.
Was that before or after he asked Victor to make him a mate?
That was after. That's when he gets really pissed and kills Elizabeth and kills Henry and like makes this Irish town think that Victor killed Henry Clerval, the friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Although but him killing William as a kid was before. he asked to do that, but it was after like his whole story with like the farm people with Felix and like the old man and stuff.
So him killing William was like his first
Yeah, that was his first
act of
one.
revenge, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so interesting. So the whole change of having William aged up and Elizabeth, betrothed to him or whatever. Yeah, I guess it does exist to, I don't know. It adds this extra layer to Victor where like he's pursuing infidelity against his brother. Like, is that the goal?
There's this weird, like, kind of Oedipal kind of thing going on where you have Mia Goth playing his mother as well as his lover.
I didn't even notice that until I looked at the trivia today.
So, like,
I thought it was
it's, I mean, like, I don't know what it is about, but like, it's like women in his life taken away from him, or like that's kind of like, that is kind of with, as well, with like that Elizabeth represents in this part. But like she exists as something that like he can't have in the same way that the monster can't have a love. I don't know, maybe it just works as like another version of like the foil that they both like that they
right.
are. Yeah.
The trivia on that is that Mia Goth plays the double role of Victor's mother Claire and his love interest Elizabeth to create a thematic connection between mother and lover, which director Del Toro felt was crucial to the story. Goth and Del Toro discovered the idea during an early conversation about her experience with new motherhood, and it allowed Del Toro to explore the Oedipal?
Oedipal.
Did I?
Oedipal.
Oedipal?
Oedipal complex.
The thing I just mentioned.
My apologies. Themes and Victor's lifelong yearning for his mother through a single actress.
You see, whereas I didn't see that in the book. I like not well. Once again, not that I remember like a whole lot, but like I don't remember that ever being relevant to the book.
Well, I think the mother dies early, and like in Mary's own life, like her. I think
Mary was fucked up. We know that. So she was.
Yeah, well, she drew like she had some deaths beforehand, but then also afterwards, like Percy Shelley died as well and stuff. But no, like it was no, the mother thing wasn't a huge thing in the book. I don't think it was just kind of there.
I think that once again probably works to like what I was saying earlier, just about removing women from like the woman was removed from like the mother was removed from Victor's life, and then like by nature of the creature's birth is like there's no mother in its life, so that works to like the book's theme. Whereas like it's just the rewriting of that feels. I mean, it's just not present in the film. That side of it, when you have Mia Goth playing both, and you have this kind of new angle of being looked at.
Right.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Mia Goth? Does she work for? And I guess how do you interpret or feel about just the change of her role in the film, and well, everything we've already been talking about with her relationship with the creature? Like, how did it all work for you?
I don't know. I thought it was like fine. There was nothing really very gripping about Elizabeth. Yeah, but like I think Mia Goth is, great. But I don't even think Oscar Isaac and Goth had that like great chemistry. I mean, they had a few scenes together. Like it wasn't like they had a lot of time to like flesh out their romance or whatever, but it still didn't feel like it was it was tugging any heartstrings or anything. It was just kind of an element that existed.
Yeah, their best stuff was definitely like when he followed her to confession and then she was onto him. That was fun. That was like the most like playful aspect to it, I guess. But yeah, outside of that, it was pretty just you sort of just take it on board for what it is. I think. Being that you just kind of accept it, which is okay. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about her entirely.
Well, she's supposed to be like the moral kind of centering or whatever, I guess. Like the moral.
Yeah, and she does do that. She gives him like she's kind of the first person to warn him, if I recall, like at that dinner scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, she does that. And she obviously like kind of disagrees with everything that he's doing with the creature and this is all obviously new out stuff, but like takes issue with how he treats the creature as subhuman and all that. And then forms the relationship or the connection with the creature and that. So I don't know. It is kind of. I guess it is kind of like, and then her dying. It's like another. I guess that affects the same thing as the book, where it's like, someone else gets caught up in all Victor's stuff as a victim. Someone who's just trying to help, So I guess that all makes sense. Yeah, I guess the thing I just keep coming back to, and I just said it, is just like when I think about those scenes with Mia Goth and bloody the creature and stuff, I'm just like, I just can't help but think it's got Shape of Water written all over it. Like it's just the first thing I thought of. He just loves the whole. I don't know. I feel like he's very smitten with the idea of just like creatures and monsters and humans like interacting and finding connection, and I don't know. I mean, we see it in the ending, obviously, with the creature and Frankenstein as well.
Yeah, I've seen people take issue with how sympathetic that the creature comes out in this version, but like that was always going to be the outcome when you have Del Toro directing the story.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, and like people like, I think like it's like once again like it's not for no reason. Like it's justified in the way that that's rewritten, and like the creature has always been a sympathetic character anyway. It's just that it's been amplified here. So I think a lot of people complain that it's too sympathetic. Probably don't even understand the book in the first place, where they don't see the creature as like being a character worth caring for it like at all as well.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I thought the creature was very sympathetic in the book. From what I read of it.
Yeah, from the 80 pages you read.
I mean, it's sympathetic, but like in a kind of completely different way, because it like the creature does like murder innocent people and stuff, but
but it's like we're showing like that as a product of its
being like spurned by humanity.
rather than like it's got a inherently good nature, not inherently good, but it's got a good nature that is no man is an island is a phrase that was said quite a bit in that classroom, and you need a village to raise a boy and all that shit, and the creature doesn't have a village,
Yeah.
Its fate is worse than Satan, because Satan still had, companions in hell.
I think obviously the choice to cast, Jacob Elordi, and obviously what was going to be Andrew Garfield, like the choice to cast an actor.
Yeah, imagine the fucking sympathy behind the creature if you had Andrew Garfield's eyes. Like Elordi's handsome, sure, but like Andrew Garfield just has sympathy coming out of the fucking,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shows you that the intention always was to make him ultra sympathetic.
Right, exactly. That's that's Jaden's unsurprising take of the evening. No, but like, the creature could have easily been buried under more prosthetics and all the rest of it, or had a different. Like the design very much feels like it's trying to bring out the human aspects, and casting an actor like that, to try to make it feel relatable, and in that way, I feel like the intent is pretty clear, and just that choice kind of by itself to have like a young actor play him. You know what I mean?
Dude, I thought he was really impressive. Like I think.
I was about to ask that. Yeah, go for it.
He blew me away. I thought that I'm not overly familiar with his stuff. Like I know like Saltburn pretty much. He's in Euphoria as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like I always thought he was a face. I didn't really know that he could act, and it's like I don't know, his movement and his voice. I was blown away. That he kind of committed that much, because I wasn't expecting that from him. Like, because I just thought he was a face once again. So like, yeah, I was.
You judged a book by its cover.
Well, I judged the book by its cover in its first 80 pages. Yeah, so he, he's flipped me around on himself. He committed way more than I ever expected him to. So,
Yeah. To be fair, I judge Jacob Elordi based on his cover and also his skull. But
Oh yeah, true.
outside of that, no, I thought he was fantastic. I really did. I thought he was able to convey the tragedy of the creature very well. And I was like, I think I mentioned it last week. Like the farm stuff, like is by far the stuff I remember most from the book. That stuck with me most from the book. Which, by the way, I keep claiming I've only read 80 pages of Frankenstein, but like,
Yeah, you must have read more.
it's pretty deep into the movie. Is it deep into the book too?
I feel like it's like the midway, like the whole, second act of the book.
Yeah. Like the order wasn't changed or anything. I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, but did you actually read up to that point, or did you read excerpts in class?
Yeah, well, that's I cannot reliably answer, but I thought I read up into that point. Like I definitely didn't read it like him, like when he started killing the creature, started killing people. I definitely didn't read that. I know that for sure. So like maybe I read 2/3. I don't know. Maybe my whole 1/3 thing maybe it's been exaggerated over the years. But regardless, like that stuff is what stuck with me most from the book because I really did connect with the creature and feel that for him, and I thought that Jacob was able to like translate that perfectly. Like his relationship with the old man, and I don't know, just like him wandering around the woods, just the way he sort of engages with everything around him is new and sort of has that sort of newborn like quality to it, which it's meant to have. Like I just thought he nailed that shit, and then by the time the friggin' hunters come and start shooting at him again. And I don't know, it just feels like it's obviously meant to be tragic, and I don't know, I thought he nailed it, honestly. So yeah, I mean, I already knew he could act because he's really great in Euphoria, but and Saltburn, I guess. But I just think it's cool that he took on a role like this. Like I know it was kind of obviously like a last minute thing, but like I don't know, I feel like expanding his range and how people see him as an actor so young is smart. Like, like
did
Jaden,
you saw? Did you watch Priscilla? Didn't you? Or someone?
I totally forgot about that.
Priscilla. He was good.
Yeah, I watched it too.
And he was good, or
yeah,
yeah,
he was. Yeah. So yeah, like, but God, I forgot about that. But like, for you, Jane, like you're kind of haven't seen him a bunch. Like, I totally get.
And in Kissing Booth.
Right. Well, that's exactly that. That's where like the whole like typecast aspect of it feels like it comes into play. So like him jumping into something like this, I think he's it's a smart choice this early in his career to really separate himself as like, I can do this shit too. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's important for me, so you can put that stuff
right.
in there,
You're going to take him seriously from now on, at the very least.
Although, to be fair, I probably should have taken him seriously after fucking Priscilla. If Sophia can trust him to play Elvis, then
yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, this is a whole different ball game. I do have some trivia while we're talking about this. Playing Frankenstein's creation was the most demanding role of Jacob Elordi's career. He spent up to 10 hours in the makeup chair for extensive makeup application. To make his early call time, he'd sometimes arrive at the makeup trailer at 10 p.m. and stay up all night. Director Del Toro says he came to believe Elordi was superhuman. Never once did he come to me and complain, and he put in 20-hour days. There you go.
It's a bit un-Australian to complain as well, though. So.
Good point, actually. Yeah, good point. I thought that was interesting trivia, but then now I've sort of become semi-self-aware. I feel like we were just glazing Jacob for 3 minutes, which is kind of weird. So let's move on.
How else do you think we're going to get him here?
Yeah, actually, shit. I didn't have an ulterior motive, I swear. In terms of, other actors in this film, the Christoph Waltz character and his addition is another one that I assume we're going to feel different ways about. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I would have preferred Henry, but like I did like Waltz as a replacement
because it's Waltz.
Because it's Waltz, yeah. I mean, I'm always watching.
Sure, we can't. Yeah,
can't really.
Complain.
Yeah, whereas I mean, he was a friend to Victor, but like just in a different way. I mean, it was like a kind of backer and a spurring on, obviously with his own motives in the end. But
Yeah.
like I think it was like a adequate substitute. Probably not as not as good as Henry, but like adequate. And then like I don't know, like making him, giving him that that last little bit of like he wanted Frankenstein's work for himself ultimately. Like I think that did add to the character in the end. Like it justified having the character enough. Like had that not been there, then you go, why wasn't there Henry? But like that justified including the character.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like that's the only reason the character's there. Like, because otherwise, like I'm watching this up until that point, I'm just kind of like, I don't know why this isn't the younger guy. Like, he just kind of feels like he's like it's not the same character, but like servicing the story wise, isn't this kind of achieving the same thing? And then that did add a wrinkle to it, which, I mean, I don't know if I like better or not, but I guess it. I guess it shows someone else who, we obviously hadn't realized his true motivation up until that point of him dying and wanting his consciousness put into the creature or whatever. But I guess it's an example of like someone else trying to push science to the limits for their own selfish gain, and that backfiring on them. Like is that the best way to justify his inclusion, or to justify that inclusion, or that final ending for him?
Yeah. No, well, yeah, I think it's like just a foil for Victor because it's, as you said, like a more just obvious and selfish motive for like immortality, which is what Victor wants to achieve in a more like impersonal sense.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like, yeah, like it did feel pointless up until then. But also like including Henry wouldn't have serviced the story too much because there was kind of no drama there. He was just kind of like a fun addition to the book, who kind of in the book he kind of served almost as like an alleviation from Victor's kind of madness and kind of monomania kind of obsession.
Right.
And then it was also kind of like a travel story, like like a travel novel thing where whenever you got Henry, you got like the beautiful like descriptions of Europe, so you kind of just like associated him with that. Like them, going through like the French Alps and stuff.
On their honeymoon.
It was written. Yeah. So yeah.
I think, but did I think he also kind of worked as a like shadow for like the father figure as well, though. Like I know, like he more literally doubles Victor, but like in just having that kind of authoritative figure that is in support of him is an interesting shadow in encouraging his pursuits to the end. And like just given like Del Toro, like as we talked about, like his focus on family, like I feel like that angle has to exist. Of like
Well, yeah, I guess the movie is more like it's more about like trying to escape like the master slave relationship, and that's like another example where it's like a a very dominant or like tyrannical kind of doer relationship. So yeah.
But just taking on the father, someone that we did with this was Plummer, not Plummer, fucking Dance.
Yeah, Charles Dance. Yeah.
Charles Dance. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Christopher Plummer because for our question afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Charles Dance. I thought it was like I'm always pleased to see him because I'm always worried that he dies in between projects. But I think it was another one. Like he's built for period pieces.
Yeah, and he's built for like the character as well, just like a stern, kind of tyrannical character.
Yeah, and seeing him dressed in these kind of like opulent robes, kind of eyes wide shut vibes. I think something we talked about a lot in the classroom again was like kind of the romance of the book, like the small R romance, and like the romantic elements of like natural descriptions and all that shit, which I felt was kind of lacking up until he did get to the creature's perspective exclusively. We kind of got a bit of it in his like kind of newfound for the world.
Anything? Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Like, because I mean, they kind of with like not having Henry and stuff, and not kind of having this like thing where you kind of troll up around Europe. that kind of element
Yeah.
of like natural romance was kind of or romantic nature was kind of like removed. Which is a shame because like, it is such a, like an integral part of the book and like to the feeling of the book. Like having this naturalistic, this romantic book, but it's kind of like anti-idealism, like because like the idea is in idealism is like the perfect kind of man and creation and all that. So it creates this cool contrast, but it's not too present.
I was just thinking as well that like it's like with Crimson Peak, Del Toro like very firmly says that it's not a horror film; it's a gothic romance. So in having that definition ready, and in defending that film, which is far more of a horror than what Frankenstein is, to Zach's point earlier, like in him calling that a gothic romance and like staunchly being of that opinion, I was just expecting a bit more of it in like the original, like this is the original gothic romance. So that, like that's like I was just kind of thinking that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess what takes its place is Del Toro's signature, like, I don't know. Like, how would you describe it? Like, I'll just say, like, the production design of this movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the very, like, I don't know, like, very 1800s. I guess it is just gothic. Like, is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah, like, this is largely, yeah.
Yeah. But like it was very recognizable to him, and like I don't know. I see like I know
the thing is like
time,
it's not really a period that is like overly explored. Like this in Crimson Peak, I think are the early 1800 films he's done.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what I mean? Even still, like I guess Shape of Water that's in the 90s,
50s,
in like the 50s. Yeah, and then like and then obviously
Nightmare Alley is about
20s.
Yeah, and then Devil's Coat, Devil's.
Oh God, I don't even.
Devil's Backbone. Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth are both 30s, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Set in the Spanish Civil War. So, like, yeah, it's like it's not overly familiar. And Hellboy is obviously just its own fucking thing.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is I associate it with like this blending of old timey, like early 1900s, late 1800s, even though apparently it hasn't gone to the 1800s much, but like the feel of it, I guess.
Like, yeah, with fantasy.
With fantasy, with gothic, with creature, you know, like those kind of elements all infused is Del Toro to me, like visually.
Well, yeah,
so I guess
it is pretty consistent. Like, yeah, I do get what you're saying. It is like there does feel like there's a consistency in visual style, despite that.
Yeah. And that's what I was seeing all over this movie. Like that's why it felt very much like one of his movies. Like I don't know, you walk into basically any set, but I don't know, you walk into like that. I mean, the lab obviously, like where the creature's born, but then which was that looks really cool. By the way, I love the window and the way the light comes in and stuff. The statue of Medusa, but then I don't know. You even look at like the place where Victor was staying. Like I think they have like the couple scenes there with bloody Christoph Waltz, and I just the way that the mise en scene of the whole thing with the way everything's decorated. It's just like, dude, I'm just seeing Del Toro all over the shit. Like this is, I don't know. I just feel like all these sets are being decorated like that with all the crazy like old timey shit all around everywhere. You know.
Yeah, like I think the sets are good, and I think the sets are like obviously like Del Toro's kind of thing, but like when I compare the visual style of this to Pan's Labyrinth, as like, you know, Pan's Labyrinth just looks so much like this. I don't like how any of these scenes actually look, like the lighting in these scenes.
Oh, okay.
It just feels very. I don't know. It feels Netflixy to me. Like it feels like it's made for Netflix.
I think there was Netflix quality to that as well, but like I think it was still. I think it was consistent, but I think it was like with a Netflix hybrid. Because like I haven't seen Pinocchio, so I don't really have that ranging thing.
Oh yeah, I have
that connection there. So I'm not sure like how prevalent of the fact that is. But
yeah. Well, Pinocchio was kind of different because it was animated, wasn't it? I think it was animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But I'm curious. I don't disagree. I'm just curious where you like feel the Netflixy stuff. Is there? I guess like to me, this is such a random point I'm just picking at, but like I felt like the exterior of the castle was very green screeny and very.
That's
for sure.
That's where I'm thinking of it too.
Yeah, was there others like that? that you guys felt? Yeah.
I mean, like all the interiors you mentioned are the same way to me. Like the fucking the inners of the castle and where Victor's staying and like all of that.
Okay.
They just have like just the light, the way the light is kind of, I don't know, like bright at the edge of the windows or something. It just has, it kind of has a haze to it or something. I don't know what it is, but like when you think of like Nosferatu or something, like Eggers Nosferatu, you think of the look of that film, and it's like doing a kind of gothic thing. It just looks like way better and totally different, you know?
Like, yeah, the harshest thing I can say about the movie is that like there's sets that look like they could have been, like there's like shots that look like they could have been from Wednesday.
Like, okay,
like not entirely, but like in just that. I mean, obviously, like Tim Burton has that kind of gothic style as well, but like just like in that in combination with like there is like a Netflix lighting procedure.
So like that, like so many films that look like this on Netflix, like All Quiet on the Western Front, like the German adaptation of that from a few years ago. That movie looks exactly like this. I don't know what it is, but they look very similar.
Well, I think that comes back to just Netflix production guidelines in that at the end of the day, you are producing for TV and you are producing for a company that is making a kind of homogenous product almost. Across.
Because like Del Toro, like if you look at if you look at Pan's Labyrinth, it's like beautiful and doesn't have that same kind of.
I mean, even like
was there anything in Nightmare Alley?
Well, Nightmare Alley wasn't Netflix.
Oh no, well that's why I'm saying like with it being
as like the most recent, I think Nightmare Alley was staunchly him, whereas like this feels like him with Netflix producers, like
and I think the Netflix look just completely like balls me.
Okay. Yeah.
Turns me off.
But like, so the thing is, like that lab set, for example, like that is a real set.
Yeah, everything's built.
Yeah.
Then the way that it's lit up,
the sets are good.
Is the thing.
Yeah, that's such. This is so interesting, and I don't disagree. It's just like.
It's
like what is it then? Like, because it's easy to say, oh, it's green screen, oh, it's digital, but it's like
it's the way it's lit and it's the way it's graded. Like it's graded very safely and very like realistically almost.
Okay,
but, like it doesn't. There is like there are no like persevering coolness that like kind of that like like the way that it is in like Nightmare Alley, or like most of the other films actually, I guess. Like it just kind of feels like there's a bit more flatness to the color grading as well. Not flat as in dull colors, just as like a more kind of
less filmic.
It feels like a more uniform S curve kind of rather than like a stylized one.
Yeah, that's like brighter and flatter at the same time. Weird.
Yeah, but it's sort of looking for color. Like, but I know that's not what you're saying. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but like the colors don't pop. Like none of the colors. I mean, maybe it's like the battery, the red of the battery, the green of the battery. Like that was maybe like one or two instances for me. But like the rest of the colors in this film just do not.
But that's kind of that is the. I feel like that's the definition of the Netflix look in that it's colorful but not defining.
Right.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Right. Yeah, not a bad way to put that.
I know, because like even Wednesday, like how much of Wednesday have you seen? Have you seen any of it?
I've seen all of the season 1.
Yeah, like nothing really pops in there, despite like Enid and like multiple other things like being rainbow.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like the way. Yeah. I don't like the way that show looks. Yeah. No. I think it's actually a decent comparison. Like I see what you're saying when you bring that up. Yeah.
Which is because I think I did read that there was like 35mm prints made. So it's interesting that they believed in the look enough to kind of scan it onto film. Yeah.
In terms of the other production aspects, I guess tying the production design, the other aspect of that is the costumes. I love the way the creature looks in this movie.
Yeah. It's kind of Westworldy.
100%. Great point. I was going to say, like, I didn't even think of that. He felt like more of an alien than a monster.
I feel like an engineer
to me,
given his height.
He totally looks like an engineer, and but he looks like one of like the Westworld, like the synths, like and they have got skin on. Yeah, 100%, 100%. But I really liked that. I thought, like, to what we were saying earlier about the humanizing aspect and Jacob, bringing Jacob in and stuff, like, it served all that well, as opposed to like having, obviously it's a shit ton of makeup, but it's not like what you like. I know I right now, for example, I'm picturing the very old school like Frankenstein look of like the stitches and the fucking beam or whatever through his head or whatever, that I've just seen, you know, that kind of design. This one's just so different to me anyway, from like on a mainstream level.
In bringing up that look and that 30s film, I think that's another important thing to acknowledge just in Frankenstein lore, is that like how significantly that film has influenced every other Frankenstein thing that has come after it, and the pop culture kind of image that it has.
Right.
Well, because like even like, for example, like the lab set, like that's not taken from the book. Like in the book, it's kind of like dingy and like kind of small, isn't it? Like there is no, there is nothing great about it. Whereas like,
right, there's nothing grand about it. Right.
You know, in the 30s is when you kind of have this, you know, whole. That's when you have the introduction of, you know, that kind of side with you know, the massive kind of pylons and all that shit. Yeah, like it's like obviously like the movie is nowhere near as influential to the Frankenstein story as like the book is, but like it is influential to the Frankenstein that we know, and that I'd say it's influential to elements of this film, particularly like the sets.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Yeah, no, sorry. I guess I was done. I also really like the way the creature, like the choice, obviously predominantly later on in the Arctic stuff, like to have him like hooded and cloaked and kind of like have him sort of with these ragged clothes on, and like when you see his silhouette in the distance, how it's kind of like the wavy cloaks look. I think that's sick. I think it's not really what I imagine at all. Like when I was like reading or whatever, or like when I picture this stuff. But I just think it's a really cool interpretation of it, and I believe, that thing. That's quite dehumanizing of me and against the themes of the story. But I believe that thing could like run around and like would be running around hunting Victor. You know what I mean? Or like,
yeah.
As opposed to like this, I don't know. Like in the book, I get that's what it was meant to be, but I couldn't get like the more monstrous look out of my head. So it kind of always felt weird, like thinking about that guy running around. You know what I mean?
I kind of always. So, did the version of the book that you had, was it the one with like that painting of Prometheus on the cover?
Yes.
Yeah, that's honestly how I pictured Frankenstein. Because like he's described as like yellow and massive and like
the creature.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, creature.
Oh,
fuck.
Idiots.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
You pictured him as like yellow?
Yeah, because like it describes him as like, well, having yellow eyes for sure, but then like I don't know, like his skin tones were like kind of patchwork. Yeah, that's pretty much how I pictured him, to be honest. Like that, but with like stitches like across like, you know, arms and shit like that. So like to me, like it was always a bit more like Jacob Elordi.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, you liked this engineer iteration?
Yeah.
What did you imagine Fitzy? Or did you like know what he looked like in this, and you sort of like had that a bit in your head as well?
Oh, that's an interesting. No, I didn't know what like Jacob was going to look like in this, but like because I was about to watch this, I did picture a version of Oscar Isaac and like a more demented and actually like taller Jacob, because he's like 8 foot in the book, you know. Jacob's too short, you know. But
yeah, being 6'5" and being too short.
He's way too short to play Frank, the creature. God damn it. But no, like I didn't picture him as like the perfect kind of being that's like kind of on the cover. That's kind of like that guy has like a, you know, very put together framework. Like in the story, it's more like he's like a jumble of like limbs or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's still kind of.
But
he's described like superhuman speed and stuff.
He's described as like because it's described about like the kind of skin having to be stretched over muscle. Yeah. So like it kind of like there's that implication that like it is like big and bulky and like muscly. In a way.
Yeah, muscly, but just like I don't know, like less like way less visually appealing, I guess. I don't know. Just way less like demented or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like he is kind of eloquent. Like he does like once he reads the books and stuff and learns to speak, he like convinces Victor initially to create the bride. And he is like very convincing. And very kind of just I don't know. He speaks well throughout the book. Well, after he learns to speak. So like I mean seeing him this way with the coat and stuff, like I guess it made enough sense. And he looked decent. He didn't look as like crazy as I envisioned. But yeah.
It's funny,
definitely not by the end. Yeah,
I've never actually thought about how I imagined Victor, which I guess is like kind of I guess it's kind of like what Oscar Isaac looks like in this film, but like a generic version, I guess.
Right. I just thought of him like as kind of paler and kind of like more like a thin, lean kind of
younger.
Younger for sure.
Younger,
Like he's a student in the film. Like I know like you can be a student at any age, like especially in those times probably, but like just when you're a student, I just do picture like someone no age.
Someone who's not 45 or 50 or however old Oscar Isaac. Yeah, that's fair. The main, I guess, design or like I don't know, the main choice that this film makes in terms of some of the more violent action moments I just want to get you guys' take on was like the choice to have the creature, like the portrayal of the action in the film in terms of the creature like flinging people around, ripping the walls up. Is there? I don't know. How did you feel about? Though. Yeah, is it? Yeah. What is the? How is the violence portrayed in the book, and did it feel in line with it? It was going to be my question.
Well, like he does. You don't really see the violence in the book, but it does say like he does fling Elizabeth like across the room to kill her.
Wow. Okay.
But like like the whole boat scene, like, he doesn't kill like the ship people.
Yeah, I think I was meaning more in that like he's described as like because like when he meets Victor in the mountains, he like crosses the mountains like impossibly quick and like he's kind of like bounding across them, like just like like there's always that kind of implication that like he can do that.
Yeah, he's like superhuman like speed. Not as much like in strength. Like I think he was shot once in the book and it like really kind of damaged him.
Yeah, the Wolverine healing I think was new.
Oh yeah, the healing is like not a thing. I don't think.
Okay.
But like in terms of him fleeing people, like that is accurate. Like he does do that in the book.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that because I guess, I mean, I definitely didn't recall it opening that way in the fucking Arctic and him with a big like an action scene basically.
No, that was
so like
just
Yeah. So that's why, like, it struck me immediately as like feeling quite different and like as a choice in that regard. But I guess it is just an expansion of what was already there. I guess in that regard.
Right. I was actually thinking like with Waltz's character and him like having like the war and stuff. And there's like a shot on the thumbnail or something of Jacob Elordi like with a bunch of guys. He's just standing amongst them. I thought he would be like a soldier or something. Like
I saw that. Where was that in the movie?
Oh, it wasn't really in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I didn't think so.
I feel like that could have been like a plot point in this film, especially because like Christoph Waltz's character was so involved with the war. He would have been like, like a super fucking soldier,
Yeah, that would have been. Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been interesting, but I just thought they would go in that direction, but they didn't. So
yeah,
I don't think I've seen the image that you're talking about.
It's just him like standing with a bunch of like, I think it's probably the Arctic Man or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't look like the Arctic Man to me, but I guess that's the only explanation. To
that's like my posthumous explanation right now. But
yeah.
Could have been the other people.
Our friend's brother was in the film, Zach. Oh, Liam got to meet him too. So he's Liam's brother's friend as well. Friend's brother. Lars Nicholson.
Dude, so obviously the thing with that is it's like, okay, we have a Danish character, all right? Next question. Which of the two brothers are we casting? That's basically it. It's like, Mads is a bit too big these days. You know what I mean? He's a bit.
Yeah, but he's got an established law with Del Toro via Kojima.
Yeah, that is true.
Is that Matt's brother? I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's Lars Mikkelsen is the captain. Yeah.
Mm.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, Liam, come on now, show some respect. You know,
I've seen his face a lot, but I just didn't know who else.
You've seen his brother. That's probably why you recognize him.
Yeah, in the flesh. Yeah.
Jaden forgot that Vinci. Mate, there was like we actually I shouldn't disclose what we did for that. But anyway, it's hard to forget. Was all I was trying to say.
We can't let them patch it by the time we next do it, so you can't.
Absolutely, 100%. You are spot on with that. Del Toro is a long-standing friend and admirer of video game creator Hideo Kojima and even plays a Frankenstein-like character named Deadman in Kojima's Death Stranding. In this film, Del Toro returns the favour by including a shot that is identical to one from Death Stranding when the camera travels inside the creature as he receives life.
Yeah. I did. The thing is, I didn't pick up on it being like an ode to it, but there was like a familiar sense to that shot.
I immediately saw it. I'm like, oh, there's the Death Stranding shot. But like, I didn't, for some dumb reason, just in the moment, I didn't like connect why it was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no shit, why it's there. but I'm like, oh, that's the Death Stranding shot. Expecting fucking the baby to turn up. Anyway. No, I just had to put that there.
Did this movie use length annoy you guys? Did it great?
No, I thought the 2.5 hours actually flew by.
No, it didn't for me either, honestly. Did it mainly for you in the first half, Fitzy, or just like I guess to touch back to what you were saying at the start, like, did it pick up in the creatures part for you?
Only in parts. I mean, I didn't glaze Jacob Elordi earlier, but he was great. But I just think, yeah, the first part like moved so slowly and dully for me that it was just not. I couldn't like invest myself in the second half really, but
okay.
Yeah.
You didn't like Argus Filch's performance as the blind man, or Walder Frey rather.
Oh yeah. No, I mean he was good. That was probably the best part. Yeah, and just Jacob discovering like his senses and learning fucking English. That was interesting. But yeah, I was too far gone at that point, and it just kind of long movie. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. All right. With that, let's get to our final verdicts. Fitzy.
I mean, I give it. I should probably. It's probably like a 4, but I'll give it a 5 for just on the technical basis.
Mate, you spent all your time shitting on how it looks.
Oh yeah, no, but just Jacob makes up for it. Okay. All right. That's the acting is the technical fucking basis. Actually, no, fuck it. I'll give it a 4. The rest of them aren't. That's good. I'll give it a 4. Jacob doesn't make up for it.
I was going to make an argument like, how do you feel about Oscar Isaac's British accent, but didn't even need to do it. You just changed to a 4. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. I'm going to give it a 7. Jaden.
I will give it an 8. I think had it focused more on the kind of man versus nature, and it would be is like 1 point missing, and I think the second point missing is the visual stuff that we did talk about. Like it's usually hard to quantify like why I'm missing points, but like I think for this one it really is kind of those two like kind of things.
Yeah. All right, let's get into news chat. We had 2 trailers for you. First off, Super Mario Galaxy movie, biggest trailer of not just this week, not just this year, but one of the biggest trailers of my life, of many people's lives. Finally seeing this shit come to the big screen. Look, my main takeaway from this trailer is just that how are they doing this again? In terms of, I was way too excited for the original Mario Brothers movie, saw it, and I was like, I enjoyed it. But like
you cheered at the post-credit scene, so I think you liked it a bit more.
That was semi-ironic, but I do love Yoshi though. He's like my favorite character. But regardless, spoilers. So I was way too excited for that movie. Watched the movie, had a fun enough time, but like kind of realized afterwards, I don't know why I was that excited. Now I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, fuck, I'm excited. And I'm just going to do the same shit again where I'm going to watch it and I'll be like, oh, it's a 6. But, dude, this shit's so cool. They're just like, my main concern with it, honestly, is that, and this probably shouldn't be a concern, is just that they're just doing too much. Like,
Well,
it's the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
yeah,
which is already
when you're
huge.
adapting the worst Mario game, you kind of have to do too much.
Jaden's got the absolute worst fucking takes like of all time, but it's truly unbelievable. Anyway, like you're doing Galaxy, huge, but then you're stuffing so much in from these other games as well. It's like, goddamn, like I'm always kind of like, dude, pace yourself, guys. You know what I mean? Calm down. Like we're going to make 5 of these movies. Let's space it out a bit. But it feels like this movie, from the glimpses we're getting, it feels like they're making this movie like they're not going to make another one. Like, we got to do it all now. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain because you see the goddamn places from Odyssey and elements from Wonder and all these different games that they're pulling from. I'm like, that's sick. But obviously Galaxy is the GOAT. So just seeing Yoshi, seeing the goddamn star portals, seeing the planets, seeing the boss. There's like the one I'm not. I love these games. I'm not familiar enough to know the bosses' names off the top of my head. Like some dorks out there, but there's that one like robot boss from Galaxy. And I'm like, god damn, dude, this shit looks sick. So yeah, needless to say, it looks visually stunning and doing cool things, pulling from cool material, and I'm pumped for sure. Brie Larson is playing Rosalina, which not emo enough for me. Not into it. She sounds fine, but I'm just more like, isn't Rosalina kind of meant to be like, I don't know, like punk Princess Peach, for lack of a better term? You know what I mean? Like,
well, should be Breaking Bad girl. What's her name?
Yeah.
What's the cast? What's her name? Jane? What's the actress?
Kristen.
Oh, Kristen Ritter.
Ritter, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Like, cast her as Rosalina. You know what I mean? Like, instead, like, she just comes across in the movie like Peach, other Peach, like new Peach. And it's like, but Rosalina has a different vibe. Anyway, that's fine. And then you got Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr., which is hilarious. Like, why? I don't know. But I'm down. I'm not going to give Jaden the mic on that one. So yeah, anyway, I'm pumped. It looks really great. The other trailer was Toy Story 5. Well, this is a teaser. Basically, all it does is like, it felt like a 50-second thing where like, we're going to put this out just to justify this movie existing, or at least try to like explain to you why we're doing this movie. Like story-wise, I mean, like basically it was the pitch. We're going to release a teaser that was the pitch for this movie internally, and we're just going to let everyone else know what that was. And the answer to that is that it's iPads. It's what happens when the toys come up against technology and kids just wanting to use apps instead. That was kind of exactly my reaction. It was just like, okay. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense. Like if you're in this boardroom and you're pitching these ideas, like that's one where they would come up. Fair. Can't say like it's riveting.
I know I don't have the great history with Toy Story, but like,
oh yeah,
doesn't like the existence of 4 and 5 just kind of feels cheap, and it kind of feels like a response to like a kind of like rising kind of conservative like kind of ideal within like Disney, because like it just feels like they're like it's like they're not like Toy Story was done 15 years ago. And then because like new stuff started to like not pan out, they've had to like return like something that is like kind of trusted. Like it kind of feels I don't want to say it's anti-art, but it borderline feels that way to me.
Yeah. I think you can definitely make the case. I don't entirely think it's the whole truth. Like I think to put it all on Toy Story like that. And like, I don't know. I don't think it's entirely accurate to like the scale of everything in terms of this shit happens all the time. You know, like movies, franchises seemingly feel like they have a good ending and then they just come back. Like it's not unique. You know what I mean? And And Pixar's done plenty of original stuff since and continues to do plenty of original stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like I feel like
Yeah,
sure,
but
there's reason to be pessimistic, but
but the original stuff isn't hitting these days. Is the thing, and it just feels like
no, but the original stuff has hit really. So they've had some awesome original stuff hit since 4.
Have they?
Soul.
But when was
Turning
4?
Red? I know that's a
when
controversial
was
one.
4 coming out? Wasn't that 2021?
2019.
No,
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. No, Soul. I'll always give you Soul.
Yeah, Turning Red I love. Onward I love.
Yeah, but like even like I don't know, general audience wise.
Yeah, but they're still doing. Like I know they did that movie this year. I haven't seen yet, but like I don't know. Like
yeah,
I
which
think,
failed even harder.
Yeah, I know, but then they I understand. Like I understand that, but I'm just saying. Like I think there would be more of a case if like there was a clear trend that they're not doing anything original anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't exist.
I feel like Alio even kind of reaffirms my point in that the original director left the project because of how much Disney was censoring it and had to scale it back into something more safer and like something more familiar for like people. And that's why they brought in Turning Red director. I'm pretty sure Domei Shi finished off the project because like the original director had to leave because of like how much like Disney watered down, like Pixar watered down the original vision.
Yeah. No, like, look. If the argument is that Disney's too safe, they're not doing creatively interesting stuff and want to prioritize, what they know is going to make them money, and like I totally agree. Like that's totally a fair argument to make. I just like obviously that is a bit more of a unique case because I specifically with that movie, my understanding.
But I feel like but to take it back to Toy Story, I feel like Toy Story's existence now kind of is a response is a link to that.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, look, if in the next 5 years there's like a huge decline in their original stuff, I think that'd be fair. I just haven't seen it yet. I'm not seeing it yet. I don't know, and like Shrek's coming back. It's just a thing, I feel like, in general. People love that new Shrek stuff. Yeah,
but like Shrek never had the ending that Toy Story did.
Dude, the last movie's called Forever After. Like, what the fuck else?
Is it?
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is kind of the same thing, to be honest with you.
But I'm not going to argue. Like, I think that probably stands to reinforce my point, though. Like, it doesn't only exist within Disney as much as it does like just other pop culture.
Yeah, but But like, you mean that they're going back to the well on established things that they know work.
Yeah, but like,
I just think that's undeniably always true. Yeah. I don't know. I guess the only point I'm making is that I don't disagree. I just feel like I'm not seeing anything that's different to what's always happened. I'm not seeing a new trend occurring.
But like, in that is not a new trend. I'd be interested in going back and seeing if it is linked to kind of rising conservatism in the past as well.
I don't know. I just think these companies that just want to make safe choices to make more money. I think that's really all it is. But yeah, honestly, I think the next 5 years are going to tell the story. Now it's time for our highlights of the week. Jaden, what have you been watching? Have you watched 2 of the TV series we recommended last week?
No, but I did start the new It show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, what were the 2? You said Task, and what was the other one?
I didn't say 2, did I? I just meant one of the many. We recommended a bunch.
Yeah. No, I did start Welcome to Derry, though.
Okay.
It was, the first episode was fine. Speaking of things that like felt like too digital, like this show's even like worse. Like there is just a terrible digital glow to like every establishing shot of Derry. Takes you out, especially like when they were like it cuts to it so much. Cast is good. I think the kids are okay, and the adults that they have seems like there's something interesting they're working on in the background, with like the kind of military aspect. Horror wise, it was fine. It was kind of gory. It was just cool. They did elicit a lot of empathy for one character, which is like he was only on screen for like only 10 minutes. Like it was like the kind of like the intro to the show. So they did a fantastic job in kind of getting me to care for someone like so quickly, and I think they're kind of successful in that as well with the new set of kids they introduced after that. So like I don't know, good writing on that stuff, I guess. But like in terms of like the actual characterization of like the kind of kid cast, like they seem like kind of standard at this point, in like kind of what you have going on in other Stranger Things, it kind of stuff. So that's not new, but you know, in a new setting, yeah, I think I kind of sound a lot more negative on it than I am. Like it was still good. It was still like 7-ish. Right. It can. I like, you know, I think it's like it has potential to move up. Like once it actually gets into the story. Yeah, it was pretty decent. Yeah.
Where does it sit in the It timeline?
About 20 years before the movies. I think it's 1962.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense because I always thought the movies were mid 80s. But if I think this is like stated as 1962, and if that's the case, then the movies would be 1989 because it comes back every 27 years. I mean, like that's entirely possible. But it just, you know, it just surprised me that the movie, because like the movies feel like very 80s, not like kind of 80s 90s transitional, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, like once again, like it's 62, and I think it's going to be like, I think they've talked about doing 3 seasons with each one being like 27 years previous.
Oh wow, huh?
Which like kind of makes me worried because like it is. I mean, it's not easy, but you can definitely still get shots of like a 1960s looking American town that you can then touch up later, rather than like doing entirely artificially. But the fact that they're already doing that for the 60s and it looks the way it does, like when you go back and you do what 38, 30.
Oh god,
30. What?
30s. Let's just
30,
say.
But when you go back into the 30s, like it doesn't give me a good like feeling for like what it's going to look like.
Nor when you do the fucking 1900s or whatever, 1910.
It'd be interesting whether they keep Bill Skarsgård for it all, because I'm surprised he came back for this one.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him yet because he's not in the first episode. But like, you know, it's good that they did keep him. I wonder if they'll manage to keep him. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like they got it. I feel like they got it.
I'm
keen to keep on going on with the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I watched all of Adolescence this week, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular. It's raw. It's pretty heartbreaking. I gave it a 10. Like it's just engrossing television. Like in a nutshell, to me. Like I you know, I love the craft of acting, and there's watching this thing was like the ultimate reminder of that PTA quote I love of like just being in awe of actors, because my God, I don't understand. I actually don't understand how human beings are capable of some things I watched in this show. Like, look, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like, to me, you know, there's in terms of the great skills out there that you can that we can be good at or whatever. Like, there's great, you know, sports people, I guess. You know, no shade. I'm not like saying like, you know, the great basketball players, the great football players, whatever. Like, you know, good for them. I in my opinion, like nothing like that they do in terms of like being a great sportsman comes anywhere close to how impressed I am by these people that are just unbelievable actors. Like I just think it's shits all over it, to be honest. Like, as a pure like talent thing, as a skill, as an art form, as a craft. Like I just, needless to say, there's stuff in this show that just blew me away. Like I don't understand how
I think,
as a species we're capable of some of this stuff.
I think it's unfair to compare art to physical kind of like sports, something you can train for. Like I know it's hard, but like I mean, you should be comparing art for art. Not...
You don't think that like acting is physical? You don't think that it's like...
Well, acting's a learned skill, whereas like I mean, like sports is as well, but like it's also training. Like you can. I mean, I'm not saying me, but like you can train to be one of the best runners in the world. Like whereas like it's...
You don't think you can train to be a better actor?
I mean, you can probably, but I like it's... I mean, you should be comparing to musicians and painters and photographers rather than sportsmen. I just think,
I mean, we can do that too, for sure. But like, I still think my comparison is valid, don't you? Well, I mean, it sounds like you don't.
Nah. No, keep going though, sorry.
Oh, anyway. No, that's... I mean, there's nothing really more to say other than just like, you should watch it. It's only 4 episodes and it affected me by the end of it, for sure. Yeah. The whole one take thing is fucking bonkers. Like, they have you seen it all, Fitzy?
Yeah.
The end of the... I don't know how far I went. The end of the second episode with what they do with the camera fucking blew my mind. Like I just don't even... And I actually I understood what they did, and I still couldn't really understand how they did it. And then I had to go and watch the first thing I had to do was fucking get the behind the scenes of that shit.
Right.
That shit was insane.
What was your
highly
favorite,
impressed
episode?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
Because like on the acting thing, I think like choosing an episode
Yeah.
kind of speaks a lot to like what you kind of, I don't know, what technical elements you value. Because like the second thing is like the second episode is like the camera's really impressive. The third thing is like just like the kid is like purely just like takes loses it away.
What the fuck?
And I think fourth is like on an emotional level, it just like it's totally overpowering.
Yeah.
So like I think what episode you like says a lot about what you are into. I guess.
You're right. That's a great point. You can separate them like that, and I guess like I'm finding it hard to choose because I was highly impressed by all of it. I have to choose 3 probably. I think the dynamic with the kid and the lady who plays the psychiatrist was just so fucking unreal to watch.
Yeah.
But I was also, dude. I will say, I was also... You're right about the second episode, like being the technical part of that. But like, I was so impressed also by the guy who plays the detective in that episode. And his whole thing with his son throughout. Dude, I was so impressed by that performance too. Yeah. I'll stand by my athlete thing. I will. I really don't understand. Like, I understand that there's differences. I'm not trying to say they're exactly comparable in every way. I'm just saying I'm more impressed by acting than athletes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think anything that invokes emotion is like inherently going to be more impressive. Yeah,
that's true.
Like I think that's why people would separate it by like artist and athlete or whatever. Musicians and actors are kind of the most revered because of their ability to invoke emotion.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like, I don't know, it's like a live... I don't know, I feel like acting's closer to athletics than like, like having an art...
I don't think so.
Right,
I think acting... I just think that the creative element of acting is too significant, and like there is something that you can't learn in when you're talking about the best of the best. There is a creative eye that you just cannot compare sports to, because sports you can achieve the highest for by training alone. There is nothing more to understand. I mean, like once you understand the physicality of it, I don't want to say
I honestly totally
love
disagree.
Sports. I don't want to. I watch so much sports. I don't want to come from someone that hates sports. But the body can go so far, and we've hit the peak, and then once we hit the peak, we started improving the technology behind the sport, making clothes lighter, making certain items to improve performance within limits. Can't take drugs. There is physical ways, and there is a set manual that you can follow to become a better sportsman, to even become the best sportsman. There is no way to learn. There is no way to learn that creative eye. You can train yourself to be a better artist. You can train yourself to be more creative, but there is you can't when you're talking about the most impressive of it all. I think there is this creative essence that you can't not that you're born with, because I think that's also rubbish. I just think that
Aren't you guys agreeing though? Like you're saying it's more impressive, or acting's more inherently impressive because of that.
Agreed.
Well, I think it. Oh, sorry. Well, I think. Well, the thing is, I am and I'm not. I think it's an unfair comparison to make.
So, but you're saying that in defense of sportsmen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but do you not think people are not born naturally more gifted at sports than other people? Do you really think with incredible training and persistence, I could be as good at basketball as Michael Jordan?
Not at your age.
If we were the same age, as any highly talented NBA player who's 24 years old.
What? No, I think you're too old to train. But if you were on the sports path, if you were training, if you were playing basketball, I don't like using basketball because I hate basketball. But
use whatever you want.
Look, the thing is, you can train to jump higher. We in high school at the start of every term we did a fucking jump test. Some kids would get better because they played basketball and they could start jumping higher, and some kids wouldn't. And then you wear, the shoes you wear, the fabric you wear, it's lighter, there's more spring or whatever. It gets you to jump higher. You can train to jump higher. And so if you're consistent with it, your height might be different to fucking Michael Jordan, but you can still have the same physical attributes as him if you can train as consistently.
But how's that different to acting?
Because of the creative aspect. There is a creative aspect that yes, you can once again it's not all. I think there is a creative aspect that only your mind, your brain chemistry can understand.
Right. But I think you're saying there's a creative intuition, right? That some people have and some people don't. But I think there's also got to be. I mean, there's the birth thing, as I agree with that. But also there's athletic intuition as well that not everyone has. Not everyone of Michael Jordan's build could become Michael Jordan. Yeah.
I think game sense can be learned as well. I mean, fans can read games plenty. Your average fan can read plays, and then as long as if you keep on training your brain and you actually study it the way that players do, you understand better. And I reject the idea that you have to be born with creativity, but I think that you need to be able to understand it in a certain way that you can only train yourself so much up to. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear you. You haven't convinced me, to be honest. I hear you. I don't know. But okay, taking that out for a second. There's also a difference to me in okay, let's take the musician angle for a second. There's a difference to me between having your art form that you work on and that you create an output for, right? A song, for example.
Right. Are you talking about performance specifically? You think acting is the zenith in terms of what people can do performance wise, what can show us.
Yes. So I guess that's why it's kind of a different category of art as outputs. It's not really, I guess, the category of thing I'm talking about. You can, I guess, for music you compare it to a stage, but a concert or whatever, or a musical performance, right? I'm saying, I guess if I'm doing that, I'm saying I find acting more impressive than any musician performing on stage. More impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why are you rating a musician based on their stage performance?
Well, I am right now because I arbitrarily just created the limit for myself to do it because I'm saying I don't think it's fair to compare. I don't think it's fair to compare a musician based on their songs compared to an actor's ability to perform
But that is their
theatre.
output. An actor's output is their performance.
I know, but
Yeah, wouldn't like theatre be like what
yeah,
kind of stuff like
but like theatre lives and breathes, right? Like it's not a one thing that exists forever. It's not permanent.
right? It's not like one.
You know what I
output.
mean? Well, I understand. Obviously, like a performance captured on film is kind of does. So that's kind of that's a bit of a weird middle ground, I guess. But yeah, it's like that's why the sports comparison made more sense to me, where it's like it's a physical.
Does sport not live and breathe?
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. That's why it makes more sense as a comparison point. It lives and breathes like acting does.
But you're saying acting on a screen, not acting on a stage.
No. I was saying I brought that up as a point as a point that could be a flaw in what I'm saying. But I'm saying the overall point of what I'm saying is acting lives and breathes. And I just briefly said, I guess
I don't
screen
think
acting.
it does. Yeah, I don't think it does.
You don't think acting lives and breathes?
No, like you have your output once your product's finished. Like, I don't understand what you mean by like
the craft lives and breathes. Like what? So you think when the actors performing the same role going to the theater every night, that's not living?
No,
and
yeah,
breathing?
theater's different to fucking
Yeah, I know. I acknowledge that. Screen is different. That's what I agree. I understand that. But I'm talking about the craft of acting. The craft of acting is what I'm saying.
The craft of acting, but also like in terms of screen. I mean, like is that? Are we not talking about the craft of acting in terms of screen? Like as well, though? Like
I'm just talking.
Like there is an output there, and then
I know. That's why I agree. The output thing is muddy. I agree with that. That's a muddy. When I started bringing that up, that's weird.
And like acting lives and breathes, yes, but like at the same time, no, because you're right. It does get captured in recordings, which not too often, but then it also gets captured in a review. Like that's the kind of nature of it. Like the reviewer really only reviews one night. He doesn't review 7 nights. He doesn't have the chance to see, the performance live and breathe and whether the actor responds differently to a line the next night. They have to respond on the night. So there is only one. And you can go and see it again and again. But then that's the onus is on kind of it lives and breathes to an extent. I mean, because then even then the end of the production is the end of that character by that actor. It's a different reiteration. Yeah. Like when it moves off the West End and comes to Australia, it's not the same. Like it's a different actor's output, Yeah,
that's right. I think the comparison, I think the all the different things you can compare it to kind of makes it really weird and really interesting.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten a bit. I've done it to myself by bringing up these fucking 50 more points, but I've got a bit in the weeds. Overall, what I'm trying to say is that as a physical skill, I am more impressed by what humans can do acting, the exercise physically of acting, than the exercise physically of playing a sport.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you. When we hyper limit the criteria and I very carefully choose my words.
When it's a skill, as a skill, yeah. But I'm still trying to figure out a way that I can argue my way back in. But.
No, I was only able to shut it off by hyper limiting my language to make it back.
I mean, I can argue my way back in, but it's going to end up in the same circle. I'm trying to think of a new way to argue back in.
Oh man, I want to keep this going, but we should probably do it after the show to respect everyone. Fitzy, what have you watched?
I started Black Rabbit, which is very good. Jude Law. Jude Law's just him. It's just him. He's the guy. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know. It's just a compelling show, and I'm surprised by the ratings, as you kind of mentioned. But we'll see what happens.
How many?
It just feels very. Oh, I'm not far. I'm just a few episodes in, but don't know. It feels very adult and very like stressful and very just like real world. It really captures that.
Yeah.
And like the busyness, that kind of aspect of it is really intense and palpable. And it just feels like much more than just a simple kind of, like gangster thing or something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
I'm glad you think so, because like I honestly I'm high on the show after finishing it. I wasn't even that high with how early you are. Like it grew on me. So like I'm curious if like you end up liking even more, or I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll underwhelm you. Who knows? Okay. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you. I didn't get my thing up in time. What has been your favourite recast? Dr. Luke said. Oh no, that's when he made the funny comment about me saying I thought it was racist. Who was your favourite racist? No, Dr. Luke did say Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Yeah, he brought this up yesterday. Do you know who was originally meant to play him?
Eric Stoltz.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm pretty sure the director Robert Zemeckis just didn't like his performance, so just changed.
I think I read it was it. Oh, okay. I don't want to say what I read because it might just be rumor, and I don't want to smirch Eric Stoltz's name.
No, I think Eric Stoltz he went on like a TV like an interview, like talk show, and just said that. So I think that's the story, but I don't know.
Well, Zemeckis, Michael J. Fox was his first choice, and then like it was the thing with like that that Family Ties show that that Michael J. Fox was doing.
Oh, really?
Like it was he thought he couldn't do it. Like he wasn't going to work, like scheduling or whatever, like commitments. I don't know how that works, but anyway, and then like they went with that guy, the Stoltz guy, and then had to reverse and ended up working something out.
Right, he was the pedo dad in the Butterfly Effect. Yeah, that's Eric Stoltz.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Holy shit! Oh yeah, I remember that now. Andy Lau said, my favourite recast within my own grains of cinema history is Max Mock as Long Foon. Man, I always feel like I'm just being hyper-exposed reading Andy's answers. In Once Upon a Time in China 2, Yong Foon is a fictional character who is the student of Wong Fei Hung, a real-life martial arts grandmaster. Yon Biao, an action... The key is I've just got to kind of smash through it and not think too much about it. An action star known to be a part of a famous trio with Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung. Played Foon in the first one, but I thought he was bland and stale and didn't look like he wanted to play Wong Fei Hung's sidekick. Max Mock just made the character even more hilarious and memorable. Even my dad and sister agreed. Love how much of a cheapy cunt his version of the character was. Max later played the character in 4 more films throughout the whole franchise that made up my childhood and also the TV series. Fun fact, Ip Man and the Wong Fei Hung, both kung fu legends in separate eras, were from the same hometown called Fushan in Guangdong.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Is Guangdong a country?
No, it's a province.
A province of China? I hope my Chinese co-workers don't listen to this. It's amazing how the Cantonese are privileged to have a rich kung fu history, something the Beijing or Northern Spastics never really had.
Whoa. I don't know if we can say that one.
I often pre-read these, and I didn't evidently this week. Moving on to another Max, the most overrated recast, however, is Tom Hardy as Max for George Miller's Mad Max. I'll let Zach elaborate on the rest for me. See, Andy, I appreciate what you're doing. You kind of threw me a softball here with this, but as you would have heard, I've already argued with Jaden for like 15 minutes today, so I feel like I can't really take the bait on that one. Let's just move right along. Leanne
I thought
said,
Andy liked Mad Max, no?
I think he doesn't like Tom Hardy. He doesn't as Mad Max.
Really?
Unless he's just like, that is purely bait. Like I know it is bait, but like it is only bait. Maybe I don't know.
That's bad.
That's bait exactly. The origin of it makes sense. Yes.
Oh, maybe that's
Damn, this works on so many levels. Leanne said, when it comes to actors being cast at the last minute, it's hard to go past Clint Eastwood and the possibility that he might not have played Dirty Harry. Go ahead, make my day. That's a Dirty Harry thing. Secondly, it is difficult to believe that Harrison Ford might not have played the lead in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thirdly, who could imagine the Back to the Future without Michael J. Fox? He almost didn't get the role due to his television commitments. There you go. Finally, Jodie Foster was not meant to play the lead in Panic Room. However, the film is all the more thrilling as a result of her incredible acting skills. Leanne taking people's answers today. Yeah, I remember when we covered that one on the show. So there you go. 4 famous, fortuitous casting decisions that absolutely changed everything for the movie, the actors, and the viewing public. Absolutely, that's true. I don't know anything about who else was going to... Do I know who else was going to play Indy?
I don't know who else was meant to be it, but wasn't it that he kind of came in last minute, though?
What, did he? I've got to look into this. Liam, do you have any other answers than the one Leanne spoiled for you?
Tom Selleck was originally Indiana Jones.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did that never come up when we reviewed these movies?
Not interesting enough.
I guess.
I mean, I guess I'll go with Samantha Morton is supposed to be like the AI and her. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, what? I think that's right. But Scarlett Johansson. Or is it saying just... Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because Scarlett Johansson was really good as the AI and her. She had like the perfect voice for it. So.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triple heavy smoker's voice.
Oh.
So I can't be cigarettes.
No, I actually do think I did really like her in
it. Yeah, Jodie Foster was my answer though, because I can't really imagine Nicole Kidman.
And she actually like shot stuff. Like she was there. Like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, dude, I didn't even know this one before I started looking at this. James McAvoy replaced. Replaced.
Are you on the Reddit thread, by the way? Is that?
It's probably the one I looked at earlier. I'm not on one now, but
okay.
Yeah. So, and then I looked into it. I was like, I saw that. I'm like, really? And then I saw a clip with James talking about it, and I just thought that was the best answer because I thought it was funny how we were talking about the other week of like what are other movies Joaquin Phoenix has dropped out of.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, there's a trend. There's a trend. We didn't know if there was a trend. There's a trend confirmed.
Well, apparently he threatened to, because like in that thread where people are talking about Wacky, he threatened to drop out of Napoleon unless PTA came on for rewrites, and there was another film that he threatened to drop out of, but like he couldn't because like contractually, like, he would have been like in.
Yeah, I saw that one comment say that. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the same thread.
yeah, we confirmed. But yeah, no, so James McAvoy played the Split character with 2 weeks warning.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He plays 17 characters in 2 weeks.
He plays. Yeah. And I watched the clip where he talked about it, and he said like he did the table read, and like some of the characters were harder to find than others, and like he couldn't crack the child character, whatever his name is. He couldn't crack the child character like sort of until the last minute, and then it clicked. But yeah, that one was super interesting. So I'm like, God damn, I can't even. Like, I guess I can kind of imagine that film with Wacky, but like, it wouldn't be as good, to be honest with you, because James McAvoy is sick. That's what I reckon. Jaden, what about you?
Yeah, that one was one of my ones as well. But I read another interesting one that I thought you would like, is that Boyega was in the majority of Rebel Ridge before dropping out. Like he was like shot like apparently like a ton of stuff and then dropped out.
No shit. I didn't know that.
One thing, I don't have any verifying factors on that, but like that's something I saw. Which I thought you'd find interesting because you like Aaron Pierre a lot from that.
Well, yeah, mainly because he's going to be my next Bond and win me a bet. But yeah.
The other big one, like the biggest one, and like it's funny because like the knock-on effect that it has. And I can't remember the exact order it is, but it's Hugh Jackman coming in last minute to replace Doug Ray Scott as Wolverine, like, not only has that meant that we've only ever had one Wolverine, which is the only actor to do that for any superhero, I'm pretty sure, like ever. Like, there's only ever been one live action Wolverine.
Has there been multiple Iron Men?
Yeah, because I think there's like a 70s one, isn't there?
Oh, okay.
Sure. Like counting everything.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But anyway, so something happened with Doug Ray Scott. So Jackman came in, and because Jackman came in, like production went over time, or like something happened, but like it had a knock-on effect onto Lord of the Rings, where like Ian McKellen was able to do something.
That's right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, and then because Ian McKellen could do something, and something else happened, and so like the knock-on effect of like last-minute recasting because of this, or that this is like a chain of is really interesting. Yeah. Well, actually, even bigger. Like talking about Lord of the Rings, like he's not involved in it, but like he was apparently like another last-minute addition.
They shot stuff with that other guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Hugh Jackman coming in as Wolverine. I mean, like it's just. Who else is going to do it?
It's iconic, man. That's crazy. It's
also,
it's funny how like all these.
Sorry, how do you pronounce it? Is it Doug Ray or Duke Ray? Because like Doug Ray makes sense, but like I'm like Duke. I don't know. It's just my brain wants to say Duke. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay. Sorry.
Let's go. I like Doug better. Oh shit! I forgot what I was going to say. Wait. Oh no! Sorry, I was going to say that like it's kind of. I'm sure there are examples where it's gone the other way and we just don't hear about them. But it is funny how like it feels like it always happens where like the person gets fired or they have to drop out for whatever reason. The recast comes in, and like the recast is either like always the recast is almost never worse. You know what I mean? It's almost never like.
It's hard to quantify if it's going to be worse, though. I mean, you can argue the same thing for better, but
yeah. I guess the easiest way to you're right. I guess the easiest way to quantify it would be like that the second person never gets fired. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's the problems with the first person, and then they bring in the second person. Which I guess like obviously if the second person would be fired, then something must be really fucking going wrong in your production, clearly, but. I don't know. It's funny how like in these stories, I guess my point is just that it seems like they get the second person and it seems to click really well. At least in the case of like where there's the last minute firing or like that, especially when they've already shot footage. Like scheduling conflicts a bit different, but like when you get these ones where it's like they were there for a week or whatever, you know, that's like the Vigo one, and so on. You know,
yeah.
The other one I read about that also was I don't know if you know this, Fitz. You probably do, but where Paul Dano playing Eli,
yeah,
there will be.
I saw that. Yeah.
Like that was an example where they had the other actor playing Eli, and he was fired. Like he'd shot stuff and he was fired. PTA said none. So he just came up with the idea on the spot to like have Paul play twins, so Paul could do it, which is cool.
I think people are saying Michael Myers getting like this is something that Luke also mentioned to me that Michael Myers redid Shrek after Chris Farley died. Like that one is an interesting one where like Chris Farley might have been better. Like I know what we have is iconic, but Chris being who he was, like I could trust like I could see that being like, you know, to your point about it almost never being better. Like I could see that having worked.
Yeah. Isn't there a recording of Chris Farley's Shrek?
Well, apparently like 85% of it exists. Like they recorded 85% of it. So like I'm sure like it probably does. You probably can't listen to it. Maybe I'm wrong. But
yeah, I think
this is just me speculating.
Video on YouTube, like of Chris Farley's voice versus.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. I should check that out. What are some recasts that didn't work? Actually, trying to sort of semi-speaking about that. Like I mean, Grindelwald didn't work. Like I love Mads. Like not, you know, he's their best friend, but I think it's fair to say they didn't work. Don't you?
Yeah.
I still stand by. I feel like Katie Holmes is better than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can stand. Yeah.
not that either of them are
Wait,
disasters.
Do you mean the other way around? Oh wait, you think Katie Holmes is better?
I do. Yeah. So you don't?
I think she was a more interesting character in Batman Begins. I think that's might be why I like her more though, rather than like performance to performance.
She felt more like an actual childhood friend in Batman Begins.
100%. She felt like she felt. Yeah, I didn't feel like the childhood connection in The Dark Knight as much. I didn't feel like that.
Fair.
She didn't feel as likable in that respect. As the connection wasn't really there. Yeah.
Well, what about what you call it? Fucking the guy from Game of Thrones, Dario.
Dario, the Rebel Moon Darios.
Yeah. like it's something that I've never had an issue with, but I know it's something that people talk a lot about Dario losing all the sauce when you recasted what's his face when you got
Oh, people like the first Dario more.
People like the first Dario, yeah.
Okay. I mean, they do, like I guess they do feel quite different. Like I can kind of see second Dario. I like second Dario.
Second Dario doesn't have the swagger.
No, yeah, he's kind of like the likable, cool side character, as opposed to like the first one kind of had, I don't know, like Riz or like a
dickish charm as well.
Yeah.
And like the character does become a cock. So like I mean like by nature he kind of like does like
maybe it was perfect recasting at the right time.
But they look completely different though. Like
yeah.
Like their faces and hair and everything's completely different.
Why can't I think of the actor's name? Ed Helms and who's the second one? Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Michael. Who's main? Who's main?
I wouldn't know if you said it. To be totally honest with you, but like I love how they didn't even like try and have the second guy shave. Like, why didn't he just shave? And that would have made it better, at least something.
Oh.
Maybe he just didn't want to shave. I don't know.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. Surely, like another example exists in TV, like just given like the length of TV stuff. So.
I mean, Game of Thrones has multiple recasts. Like, there's 3 mountains.
True. I mean, I never really felt mountain recast because like he's like behind the helmet and like he's just kind of like a nothing character. Like I like not a nothing character, but like there's like no personality there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyways, that's still the best thing Rebel Moon gave us was the Battle of the Darios, to be honest with you. I'm forever grateful to Zach for that. All right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, what is your favorite movie or show you didn't realize was a Stephen King adaptation? Now, my recommendation for this one would be to, instead of like looking at Stephen King adaptations or anything like that, just look at your list of your favorite movies ever and realize that 5 of them are Stephen King adaptations, and then choose one of them for your answer. That's what I would do. So let us know. All right. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Fitzy, what are we doing next week?
We're doing The Running Man 2025. Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's The Running Man. Edgar Wright's the Stephen King's The Running Man. With Glenn Powell. Lee Pace is apparently there. Michael Cera's apparently there. So. Josh Brolin's apparently there. So.
Emilia Jones.
Emilia Jones?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Check it out in the cinema. Indeed.
Yep.
That's it. We've gone on long enough. I've had enough. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate Liam and Jane for joining me. As always, have a great rest of your week, everyone, and goodbye.